Hey you guys, it's Bri. Tonight we're here with a new update on the Not So Resilient Jenkins. I have quite a lot to say about this because it has been a little bit of whiplash. It's been a lot of stuff just spilling all of the tea about a lot of different things and then kind of backtracking, and it's a whole mess, but we're going to get into it. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so let's start at the top. All of this started to unfold 2 days ago when Steph put out this video, and she acknowledged that, you know, the whole thing like, oh, relationships are hard, we're working on blah, blah, blah. It's a bunch of lip service, and she really defends Drew while addressing the fact that things are not good, especially, primarily for her children. So let's watch this one and then we'll get caught up to today. She was on a live stream just a little bit ago and she has a completely different perspective.
Video up a lot sooner just to kind of set things straight, but yesterday was my daughter's 10th birthday, as a lot of you know, and then today I've just been catering to this little baby girl because she got some vaccines yesterday and she's just been extra grumpy and just extra clingy, and I'm okay with that. But I wanted to get up on here and say something. And you know, this is more for the supporters because a great deal of the haters are just gonna keep assuming whatever the heck they want and saying whatever they want.
Listen, I want to interrupt right here. I realize, and I've always acknowledged, that there are people that will just say wild things. They'll come up with crazy conspiracies. That's just part of existing on social media. But the people that you categorize as haters, I'm sure I'm in that bucket too. We are simply reacting to the content that you are publishing on a public social media page that shows neglect and endangerment of your children. That is not hate. That is simply people raising red flags and concerns about things you have said, you have done, you have put out, you have published, all of the above. And if you don't like that, then get off social media.
Regardless of what I get up on here and say. But if you think that relationships that have lasted 50, 70 years, grandma, grandpa, they haven't put some work in, they haven't gone through some tough times. Like I had to change the battery in the camping light and put the baby down. But anyways, like I was saying, if you honestly think that those relationships that have lasted that long haven't had to put work in, they've just been perfect the whole time, you're freaking naive. Like seriously fucking naive.
So I will tell y'all, both of my grandparents, both sets, were married for a very long time. Neither of them were living with a homeless person and reproducing with a homeless person and deciding to continue to bring kids into this world that was not in the child or children's best interests. Yes, of course, relationships are work. Marriage is work. We all know that. We don't need a PSA from you. The problem with you, Steph, is that you have brought kids along for this unhinged ride that you call life. Trying to figure it out. We're always trying to figure it out. You haven't figured anything out, and things have only gotten worse literally by the day. So grandma wasn't with a homeless person laid up trying to make more children.
That's exactly what Drew and I are going through at this point. I'm not gonna leave him, and I don't owe anybody explanations to that. It's between him and I. Y'all are here to watch our journey, not decide our journey. Try to fucking remember that. I mean, like, seriously fucking remember that. Remember y'all's place.
My place is right here in my comfy chair in my home that I pay rent for. So that's my place, and I'm reacting to your very public content. So the talking down to people is not going to get you anywhere. I can guarantee you that people will be much more willing to listen to you if you would stop talking down to them, enunciate your words, and deliver your message with kindness and compassion when compassion is required. It would be step one of many steps for you to have a different response to your content.
I promise full transparency, and I don't give a crap who decides to judge me for, oh, but you have expressed this and you've expressed that, and I would just leave. That's you. That's on you, that you would decide to leave instead of continue to try to make your family.
This is very funny coming from her when not even 48 hours later, her live stream today is a completely different stuff than we have seen, I think, ever. Talking about giving up on somebody, leaving somebody, here's the whole thing. If your child or children's best interest is not being met, or they are being put in harm's way because you are choosing to be with this person, you are a selfish person. You are a very selfish individual, and people that are consuming this content are allowed to say, that's a very selfish move. You are defending this bum that you call my man, and your children are the ones suffering. That is a problem.
Family work. Instead of look past this incredibly difficult time and see that you guys have a lot of potential, you just need to work through it. Mind you, like, Drew and I have not had one date since we got together. We have not been kid-free since the day we got together.
And whose fault is that? Ding, ding, ding. It's your all's fault. Y'all decided to get into this situation that you call a relationship. I don't really even think that I would label it as a relationship. Y'all already had way too many kids, not enough space. It was a train wreck from the get-go. And as I've always said, I am heartbroken for the kids that have to call this dumpster fire their life at this point in time.
I planned to have Deshawn over at when we first got together. Drew had a work buddy or something that had some younger kids, and Deshawn would go stay there occasionally. So when we first...
How interesting. So he would allow this child to go stay with a work buddy who he probably didn't know that well, instead of allowing him to go stay with his mother. That says a lot.
Started talking about meeting, he was like, okay, I'm gonna see if they can take him for that night. Maybe we can have a date. And then last minute, those people were like, yeah, never mind, which is fine, whatever. But he was like, I don't have anywhere for my son to go. Is it okay if we still meet? Because we already kept putting it off.
And the way that she talks about Drew, a lot of times you would swear that they've been together for like 10 or 15 years and they're really just going through a tough time right now. They've only been together for a few years, and they've already had 2 children together, because in my opinion, as I've said in prior videos, I think that there is a breeding fish between both of them, and that is so tragic.
For freaking months, because we both had kids and stuff just never fucking lined up. No, that's not reason to just be like, oh, you should never have even met in the...
Okay, so you walked into that situation and you decided, you know what? We already can't have any alone time to even go on a date night. Let's make more kids. And we have nowhere to put them. So the baby is going to be sleeping in the kitchen and the other kids are going to be sleeping by the trash bin.
First place. Why? Why are you guys so quick to just be like, I want to be alone when I'm freaking 50, 60? Like, that's you. I'll put the work in with the person.
You know what? I would rather be alone than sitting in the hole that you're sitting in. And knowing that I made that choice for the better, to make a better life for my children. I would rather be alone than creating trauma for them.
That has been through thick and thin with me. Like, I have stories to tell up the yin yang. I just never have the time. And y'all think I'm just like...
Up the yin yang. So again, this goes into, you're really talking about Drew as if he has been around for that long. We're talking about literally a few years. I mean, you might have a bunch of stories, but it's probably because y'all are in constant mess and nonsense and creating horrible situations that your children have to witness.
Shoved in the bathroom because, like, oh, he got her to freaking submit and go talk. know, like, this is my first opportunity to be up in here, that I've got both the I don't have 2 toddlers, both the babies settled. And I just feel like I just have a fucking minute, because other than this time.
In this video, for my, I feel like she's really trying to convince herself and has quickly realized how stupid it is. And that's why in the live stream that we'll react to in a few minutes here, gives a completely different side that we've not seen before.
I've really just been up and down ever since like 3-4 days ago. Another thing I feel like I have to set straight for, I don't fucking know a reason. I'm not trying to keep nobody from nobody, okay? I didn't get in this position because I was like, oh, let me sneak in and like make sure no one else can come back and be the mother figure. I didn't do that.
You know what you did do though? You could prop yourself up here and act like you swooped in and you cared for a child that was, you know, in need. But we also know that there is a CPS report, or is it CPS? I don't know. Whatever the Child Protection Agency is in Oregon has documents showing that Stephanie put her hands on this boy. So don't act like you're the savior in this situation.
And provided care and was there for the child, and I can't perceive why that wouldn't be something that someone would have gratitude for, because I sure as fuck would. I feel like more often I need to be giving you guys the perspective of like, hey, this is what I would have done as a mother, because y'all constantly kind of check me.
She's constantly yelling at people. Do you realize how obnoxious it is for her to be sitting in the position that she's sitting in, and you're constantly yelling at people because they're in disagreement with you creating more trauma for your children, and you post it publicly and you want to come back and yell at people? I'm telling you, I will echo what I said earlier. She should, and I think it would work well if she changed her demeanor, her volume, the way she speaks to people, enunciate your words. Don't go on these 7, 8, 12-minute rants. Stick to the point. Say what it is that you want to say and keep it moving. And stop yelling at people. Relax.
Like I'm the one in the wrong when I didn't do anything in this situation to receive all the hate that I fucking do. That's what I came here to say, was that we aren't just gonna break up just because a whole community of people wants to see that for us. Like, there's a lot more to both of us.
Oop. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind for here in a few minutes.
There's so much that we want to share that we just seem like we both feel like we never get the fucking time to get up on our apps.
So what is holding you back? Because neither of you work. You don't have the time. You never have the time for laundry, cleaning, organizing. You don't have time for anything. What are you doing? Neither of you work. I guess they're too busy steam mopping the ceilings with Pine Sol and Clorox.
The autism thing for a toddler, it comes from Drew, okay? And a lot of the things that we deal with up and down are because it's not easy to emotionally figure out how to connect with somebody who has that many emotional barriers. And I'm not even trying to say that.
One, I just want to say, I have never once heard until now that Drew also has autism. I've never heard Arlita talk about that. I've never heard Desiree talk about him being autistic. And I really don't appreciate the insensitive tone that she has, because what she's basically saying here is, well, Drew's autistic, so he's really hard to deal with. Almost like a, well, I can't deal with him because he's autistic. That is so insulting to everybody that is autistic, or family or friends who have people with autism in their circles. Having autism does not mean that you're hard to deal with. It doesn't mean that you're hard to love. It doesn't mean that you can't be a functioning member of society. And that is so unfair to, you know, put him in this box. And I am no fan of Drew. But the reason that it upsets me is because she is wanting people to think that Drew is a handful because now all of a sudden he has autism.
Negatively, because it's not something I perceive negative. That's why I am still here loving him when a lot of people would just walk away. Or it's like, oh, but you put up a Facebook post that said something about like, yeah, my daughters deserve this. Because yes, they do. And I love how people sit there and be like, you don't even call Drew out. You have no idea how often I call the man out, okay? I'll call him out every time I see something that I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Because our kids are going to be raised correct. We were both raised in messed up freaking situations with... Yeah, baby, sorry.
You know what? Y'all are in a position where you should not have continued to have children. If you have trauma that you have not worked through, if you have mental health issues that you have not worked through, and that doesn't even cover the fact that you don't even have space to have children or the money to have children, to bring children into this situation is blatantly selfish for both of you.
Short for your energy. She's like, Mama, cool down. We were both raised in situations that I'm not trying to raise our kids in. And I feel like I said, with the whole spectrum thing and being raised, like, stop playing with it. We both became parents like immediately after being kids ourselves. And then we just got in a relationship and haven't had any time to work on each other, like work on our relationship. When we do take showers together or wait until the kids go to bed and we just have some us time, we're cracking up together. We're having good time. He is my soulmate, okay? When we get
She's really trying to convince herself right here, because I can tell by her emotion and the way that she is, it's almost like she's on the verge of tears. She knows that this is bad. And maybe the latter part of this video was her coming to the realization that maybe for a certain point in time, he served a purpose, whatever that purpose is. I'm not sure, unless it was just, you know, getting you pregnant, because he obviously hasn't done anything for the children that he cannot stop producing. But it's a different tone. It's a different tone, and I think that she's trying to convince herself while also recognizing, like, how do you get out of this?
Miscarriage, and I'm gonna tell this story. When we had a miscarriage,
I want to put a trigger warning right here. She's going to talk about her miscarriage. If you want to skip, I'll put the timestamp right here. She should have put a trigger warning on this. It's very... it's giving way too much detail, so I'm going to put one right here. Skip to that timestamp if you don't want to hear this, but I cannot believe she put this on the internet. Bring back shame. Bring back embarrassment. Please.
He pulled our baby back out the toilet. He has my heart, okay? There's been many situations that we have been through together that nobody can take away from us. I don't need to sit and explain to a bunch of strangers why I'm staying with a man. I don't. But I will continue to keep sharing our journey at the speed and pace
It's people like Steph that are always coming on social media and saying, I don't need to explain this. I don't need to give detail on that. It's none of your business. Know your place. Mind your own, P's and Q's. But you're constantly talking about it. Like, if it's not our business, then stop putting it out there.
Sharing transparency, sharing the real, the raw, the ugly, that people don't share themselves because they're just too ashamed to admit they're going through it too. Man's really perfect. Likes me. Nobody is. I ain't perfect. The crap that man puts up with from me, too, nobody's gonna put up with it like that. We were made for each other, okay? And if one day y'all get to shove my foot back in my mouth, I don't care about that either.
Okay, so it's time for your foot to go in your mouth because not even 48 hours later, let's see what she had to say.
Oh, don't freaking cry, lady, don't. I don't know what, like I said, I don't know what's next. I know my car is like nearly $2,000 behind that I gotta catch up on. I'm already paid up to Friday for this motel room, but that doesn't necessarily keep me here, if that makes sense. But I'm probably gonna end up just having to completely start fresh because I ain't even gonna try to go into a storage unit and get all the stuff that's in the storage. And let's be honest, most of the stuff that was at the apartment wasn't in the best.
So she's $2,000 behind on a car loan. Again, I will go back to what I've said for months. Where is the money going? You're making money on social media. You're literally not paying your bills. And this is a reflection of what happened with their apartment. You didn't pay your rent. You got evicted. Now you're, again, not paying your car note. Your car is going to get repossessed. Where is the money going?
Condition anyway, so a fresh start was kind of gonna be needed anyways. Oh man, bro, I'm sorry if I'm just rambling. This is a lot on my head, a lot that I've had a really hard time opening up about, and just waited because I wanted to give our family the most chance. I wanted to really just, and the last thing I wanted was for me to be like, oh, I went viral and all these opinions got in my head, and that's what split me and drew up, is opinions from online people that don't even have a say in this relationship. And I can count. And when it comes down to it, you got off the bed, girl. I have to do what's best for my kids. I have to do what's best for my kids. The kids first. That's it. I'm not gonna make milk for my baby, so I need to eat something. I don't want to cry because
So 48 hours later, we're now talking about what's best for the kids. Nothing that you have done has been in the best interest of your kids. In my opinion, and I will always admit if I'm wrong on this, I think this is their next big stunt. I think it's for views, I think it's for engagement, I think it's for money, and I think it's for those people that were waiting for her to leave Drew, and then they'll give her money, then they'll help her. Oh, Drew's out of the picture, now I'm going to help you. I think that she's really going to grift with those people specifically and either hide Drew or go a little while without him and he's going to come back into the picture. I don't fully believe that this is actually what's happening.
It's not even like we're like fighting. It's just that I have a lot of anxiety. I've already dealt with anxiety for a long time prior to when we got together, and I told him I have a lot of trust issues too because of some of the crap my ex put me through. I don't do well when guys watch porn. Okay, I just don't. I consider that self-cheating. I consider talking to like online women that you like, maybe you ain't got no intentions with them, but you're just flirting and doing all that. I consider that cheating. Okay, and he's already put me through that stuff. So yeah, I get anxious and I have anxiety when sometimes he'd be out door dashing or whatever, and it's like an hour or two since he's responded to me. But I don't even like go at him like that. I never like continually call his phone, or like I may send a couple text messages, but I wait. You feel me? But today, he's like, okay, I gotta switch up my route or whatever. I'm gonna call her and let her know because he doesn't want to give me more anxiety that he's switching up his route. Which I don't even understand why he thinks I was gonna come at him in the first place. But instead of like understanding that my phone's being used, he calls me back to back like 8-9 times, and then comes home all upset with me, like, why aren't you answering your phone? I was trying to let you know that my route was changing so you didn't get anxious. And I'm like, you don't think this is gonna make me anxious too? Coming at me like this? Like, I'm just here trying to start my morning correct. Just start my morning reading a book, because I don't ever freaking get a chance to just, especially in the motel, every time I fucking sneeze incorrect, the kids are awake. Like, I cannot get up in the morning early enough or do anything that doesn't wake up the kids. So there's no like starting my morning for myself.
The most I could do this morning was 2 of my kids were already up, and I was like, I'm gonna start reading a book, maybe try to take a shower before the rest of them are up. Meanwhile, energy gets thrown off of me, and I'm just completely freaking thrown. And that is, I don't know, man. Can you get off my freaking shit with that? Please. I'm so tired of that. There's nobody, he's not trying to be freed from anybody. Okay? He's one of the only reasons I still put up with your scrap. It's because I low-key wonder what kind of parenting that child's gonna end up with without me in the freaking picture. Mind you, someone was absent for so long until social media was an interest in the matter. How does that show real concern, real love for the child in the first place? I was here by choice. I've done everything for the kid by choice. I've been here. I made sure he gets to the doctor. I take care of communication with the teachers. I've done said all this crap. So it isn't me who needs to keep seeing all these freaking comments. I love that kid with my whole soul. And like I said, he's one of the only reasons I put up with shit.
I told me to leave you alone, that's all.
Oh, you ain't gotta leave me alone, but...
I was just asking where are we gonna get the donuts.
I told you. When are you gonna get used to being disappointed? It's gonna have to be you or me who go get him later. He done made his choice, he's not gonna take you.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm tired of that shit too. I'm tired of him saying he's gonna do stuff for my kids. And then he just, oh, maybe then, maybe that. Disappointment, disappointment. Yo, we up in this motel, homeless, and you can't just take your daughter to a freaking store to get some donuts when you told her you were gonna do it? Bro, I'm gonna shake you because I don't even know if I wanna... I just don't know at this point, you know? I'm so tired of the ups and downs, and I really feel like I'm starting to feel like this ups and downs is just too much. It's not healthy on our family. It's not the right choice for our family. Like, meanwhile, here my baby is getting fussy because she don't want to be here in this fucking car. She want to go sit in something. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I really am starting to feel like this relationship is too much on my kids. The day in and day out of me and her having to fix some dumbass shit between us. Sorry for cussing. Some dumb crap. It's just too much. We got 5 kids, yo. I'm tired. I'm so tired. It's hard, and it's like, is it fucking worth it anymore? You know, because, I don't know, you reach this point in relationships sometimes where y'all keep fighting about the same things, and you gotta wonder, like, okay, are we ever gonna be able to heal and fix these things? Or even if when our life is a little bit better, are these things still gonna challenge us and bring us back down to where our success is really never as great as it could be, because there's always gonna be this between us now. You feel me?
So either way, I might have a little bit more at the end of the video if y'all want to hang out and watch additional clips, but I have a hard time believing this for what she's portraying it to be. I think that it's either a stunt for money, I think it's a stunt for engagement, or like something is behind this. I just don't take it for what she's showing it as.
I don't know where I'm going. Like, I don't know if I stick to around where my family is because maybe they'll start talking to me again, or do I just pick a place that, hey, my heart's always wanted? Because I'll be honest with you, it's always been some kind of man and some kind of family that's held me back from really being where I want to be. So right now would be my opportunity to be like, let's go, babies. We going to where my heart. And I don't get it. Like, why can't there be a creamy peaceful about it, and you can still be a part of the kids' lives? He doesn't want none of that. He wants all or nothing. And I've been like, can we just take some space? Hold up. Can we just take some space and try to figure this out so it's not as much on the kids to have to keep... We're in the same room. The kids are gonna hear us talking about it, hear us arguing. It's not healthy for the children. So I've been like, can we just take some space and figure it out? And he's like, all or nothing. If you leave me, then we're just done. Like, why, man? Why can't it be like we can work on this, work on ourselves maybe? My babies are like right here on the porch. That's what I'm saying. I want them to have to not keep listening to this. I mean, they're minding their business on their tablets, but what I got on here to say is that it's y'all's time to shine, because y'all kept saying I have a community behind me. So I truly hope that's the case, because like I said, I have nobody. I have my babies and myself and God. I wish I would stop with that. I wish I would stop with that. My mom, my mom is not a good person. She's awful. Okay? I'm not calling my mom. The women's shelters and it's not a DV situation here. I do feel like I'm having the hardest time figuring out how to get out of this situation. That I like. But as far as like getting resources and stuff, there was this nice lady that was just staying here a few weeks ago.
And she was here because some guy gave her a hit injury, right? And they only gave her a voucher for 2 days to be away from you guys. Please don't put the rocks aside, buddy. Immediately didn't listen. God, why? Why is there so much evil in the world? Let me do it again. All I got on you to say is that it's y'all's time to shine, because y'all kept saying, I have a community behind me. So I truly hope that's the case, because like I said, I have nobody. I have my babies and myself and God. And I guess that's all I need, but... I can figure some stuff out. I'll look about it, yeah.
I really feel like I would like it if you'd say a little more, because...
What would you like me to get on about more? I don't...
I don't want to be put on the spot.
I know,
I was packing shit up and walking out. Packing crap out and leaving. And you said we could come up on here and like...
I know, that's why I'm here. That's what I said. I'm here, but I'm not... I'm trying to be as most vocal as possible.
I'm not... I never should have not had the support back before it turned into court matters when your exes popped up. Like, I wish you would have said something then, because now we have all this like, oh, you can't even speak and you can't clear the air on stuff that has not shit to do with me, and I don't appreciate it. And that's another thing that makes me want to just pack up and go. And I don't know what you got to say about it.
About me supporting you more?
Yeah.
I told you already. Inside. With Addie.
Right, so then say it.
That I'm gonna work on being more supportive.
I don't know what that looks like, because that's something
Do you think I know what that looks like either? Do you think all my life I know what that looks like either? We've already talked about this. If you, like I said, I'm just gonna work on things. If you want to go, I'm not stopping you. I wasn't stopping you 4 hours ago.
I don't know how it feels, because it feels like it's nearly impossible to get everything figured out. I have to like pack up a quarter of my crap and then take Atlas to an environment he's not used to and worry about that and what I'm gonna do with the girls. Like, there's so much I have to think of to just...
Right, and that's... Do you think anybody wants any of that? I know that. So if not, I'll get up and fucking go. Like I said, like I asked Addie, if you want me to get up and fucking just go, I'll get up and fucking go. Excuse me.
Yeah, but you can't expect her to not answer that from a point of view, because she's a child. She loves us. So none of them want us out of the picture.
It's what you want too. That's what
I want stability for the kids.
Okay, well I've already asked you.
And I've said that I don't know, because I just feel like I'm on the spot right now.
You know that.
I don't think, and for me, it doesn't come down to the job thing, because I've never been the type of woman that feels like there has to be, the man has to be the provider in the situation. Like, I think that the roles can be reversed, and
right, but I'm not
fine, but there has to be that equal support at home. I have to be able to,
like, in your eyes, and I'm not gonna not agree. In my eyes, I thought I was.
Like, I try to be a little understanding that maybe it's like a pattern thing for you with the autism, and like, I don't know, video games sometimes you have to finish the task. I'm not sure how to word this, but I'm just saying I try to be understanding and put in that perspective to you. But like, your family in the meantime, your lady's stressing trying to get dinner done with the toddler running around, the baby's crying, and the 10-year-old is the one taking care of the baby. She's stressed out.
I'll let you guys know why I can't get a job, or don't. It's not that I don't. It's that I don't want to. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like being somewhere I don't want to be for an extended period of time. And people be having attitudes. Customers be having attitudes, and I don't like to deal with it. So I'll just walk out. I will not show up the next day.
We'll have to see kind of what goes on from here, but I will be waiting for her to put her foot in her mouth in the near future. But either way, that's it for tonight. So if you liked the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.